sing it all together once, and then we're going to break into groups to do a round, because I know you love those as much as I do. So fair warning, when it comes time for the round, y'all are group one. We're just doing it in 3 groups, so don't worry. Y'all are group 2-ish. Y'all are group Trez. There. Okay, so, but first, we're all one group. Because if you're going, I don't know this song, that's okay. You have one whole time to learn it. Okay, if you'll give us some notes. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come, group 1. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come, despair. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come, despair. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come. One more set. Come yet again, come. Glorious. Yeah, that was amazing.
Come, come, whoever you are. Come with your hurts, your imperfections, your places that feel raw and exposed.
Come, come whoever you are. Come with your strengths that the world shudders to hold. Come with your wild imaginings of a better world. Come with your hopes that it seems no one wants to hear.
Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, we will make a place for you. We will build a home together. Ours is no caravan of despair. We walk together. Come, yet again, come.
Welcome to the beloved community known as UU Amherst. I'm Amy Malachowski, and I'm a member of the worship design team. We realize that you have many options for how to spend your Sunday morning, and we're grateful you've decided to spend it with us. We send a special warm welcome to those joining by live stream, as well as those who will view the recorded version of the service in the days to come. What amazing time to be alive. Today's service is for all ages, so children and youth will remain in the chapel. Quiet activities are available in the atrium for kids who might need to get up and move. Nursery care for infants through preschool is available every Sunday in the room just beyond the atrium, through the green and growing space adjoining the chapel. For those gathered in the chapel, I invite you to put your phones on airplane mode, or as we like to call it, worship mode. so that you and all may be fully present and free from distraction, as well as freeing up web bandwidth so our live streaming friends are able to enjoy the service without disruption. And now, let our worship begin.
Simon Connolly, a longtime youth here, and he's heading off to college this week. So, bon voyage.
Each Day by Kristen Harper. Each day provides us with an opportunity to love again, to hurt again, to embrace joy, to experience unease, and to discover the tragic. Each day provides us with the opportunity to live. This day is no different. This hour, no more unique than the last, except maybe today, maybe now, among friends and fellow journeyers, maybe for the first time, maybe silently, we can share ourselves.
It is our custom when we gather to light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. The flame represents the spark that each one of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of our commitment to bring more compassion and justice to the world. Please join me in our chalice lighting words as Linda Joy lights the flame. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of our life together. Each week, as we light the chalice to symbolize the gathered community, we also acknowledge that our church is built on holy ground, ground that was first cultivated and occupied by the Haudenosaunee and those known as the Neutrals. We offer this libation as our giveaway, a symbol of our respect for and deep connection with the land. Our song of intention this morning is found in the Gray Hymnal 131. Love will guide us. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing. We are a beloved community, a gathering of people who have chosen to journey together to encourage one another and be part of something important and life-changing. Because we aspire to be such a people, we make bold promises about how we will be with one another. Whether today is your first time or you've made UU Amherst your longtime home, you are invited to share in our sacred promise. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world.
Each week, we bring our whole selves into this sacred time. Our joys, our concerns, our sorrows, The table where we gather is at the center of this space. Maybe it's the heart of the space. And it's a symbol for the community that is UU Amherst. I invite you to come forward as you will and place a stone or a shell on the table labyrinth up here in honor of all that you are carrying with you this morning. May we remember that we are called to heal and bring love to broken places. Come forward as you will. Spirit of life and love, the bond of this gathered community, we bring to the circle of our concern those whose hearts are heavy and those whose hearts are full. May we be mindful of one another and carry each other in sacred trust. Amen and blessed be. Just look around the room. Look at y'all. Thank you for being here this morning. Today's service is a dramatic presentation in honor of the 60th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. There are a lot of moving parts. We have had half of a rehearsal. I am trusting the grace that fills this room. So I will say that there is an arc to this presentation piece, and that arc includes some difficult moments. I might say some things that really rub you all the wrong ways. That's on purpose. The arc will bring us back into a place of joy and connection, but I think it's really, really important for us to not just skate across the surface of, I was going to say a difficult piece of our history, but history would indicate that it was in our rearview mirror. So something that might be hard for us to hold that sacred mirror and to look deep into our assumptions, maybe our automatic reactions. I know I have really unpleasant automatic reactions when I'm driving. Happily, I'm the only one in the room. That's good. I am so grateful to those who are participating. You'll see that there's a lot of seating available up here, and it's about to be filled in just a little bit. And I'm so grateful to these participants who have allowed me to put words in their mouths and to bring to you this, I hope, respectful honoring of an important moment that continues to ripple out into our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Carl T. Rowan. As the new director of the United States Information Agency, I have the privilege to present to you a dramatic document of man's continuing search for dignity. It is a film about the great civil rights march in Washington, a moving exercise of one of the most cherished rights in a free society, the right of peaceful protest. I believe that this demonstration of both whites and Negroes, supported by the federal government and by both President Johnson and the late President Kennedy, is a profound example of the procedures unfettered men use to broaden the horizons of freedom and deepen the meaning of personal liberty.
Freedom Now movement, hear me. We are requesting all citizens to move into Washington, to go by plane, by car, bus, any way that you can get there. Walk if necessary. We are pushing for jobs, housing, desegregated schools. This is an urgent request. Please join. Go to Washington.
Negroes want the same things that white citizens possess. All of their rights. They want no reservations. They want complete equality, social, economic, and political. And no force under the sun can stem and block and stop this civil rights revolution which is now underway.
On August 28, 1963, 200,000 Americans came to Washington to demand complete freedom for everyone. This is the story of that day.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, "I Have a Dream," August 28, 1963, offered in front of the Lincoln Monument.
"5 score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon of hope to millions of Negro slaves.
Just slaves, not polite to say Negro.
Microphone, please. Stand with the mic. Say
Just slaves, not polite to say Negro.
Who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro,
Black American,
is still not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro.
I said Black American,
is still sadly crippled by the manacle of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro,
Black American,
lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later,
the Black American,
The Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. So we have come here today to dramatize a shameful condition.
Shameful, indeed. If you Google Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, as I did when I first prepared a version of this service for the 50th anniversary 10 years ago, you might download the version I found, sanitized by the Cybercasting Services Division of the National Public Telecomputing Network, NPTN, where all of Dr. King's references to Negroes have been changed without explanation or footnote to colored Americans. I will say that if you do that Google search, you will not find NPTN because it has disappeared from the internet. So there's that. Over the years, the language has changed. Negro, colored, black, but the fact remains that 60 years after King's stirring words about equality, we still can't bear our own history, our cultural complicity in naming a vast portion of the human population, the global majority, those with brown skin, as other. Not white. A full 3/5 human. In many ways, so many ways, not limited to critical race theory, the systemic and systematic dehumanization continues. History is being whitewashed, literally. Dr. King's words inspired and galvanized those who paid for justice with their own bodies and tears. The famous March on Washington proved to be a tipping point, the right message at the right moment. Some tipped, some fell. Yes, some fell.
From we the people, the American people and their government, the civil rights movement, faced with increasing segregation and more Jim Crow laws in the late 19th century, Black Americans began to protest for dignity and equality. The Niagara movement, formed by Black teachers, editors, and professionals in 1905, insisted on manhood rights, industrial opportunity, and spiritual freedom. From this group and a conference of whites protesting lynching came the impetus to form the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, always in the forefront of legal battles for equality. The National Urban League in 1910 sought improvement in industrial and living conditions of urban blacks and broader occupational opportunities. The Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, 1941, endorsed nonviolence and attacked racial discrimination by means of sit-ins and freedom rights.
Southern students using sit-ins and voter registration drives to break discrimination and the further equality were supported by CORE, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC.
The March on Washington, August 28, 1963, was the largest civil rights demonstration in history. The March for Jobs and Freedom was conceived by A. Philip Randolph, leader of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, coordinated by Banyard Rustin, and supported by all the major civil rights groups, labor, and many churches. 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, 250,000 Black and white Americans gathered to petition the government for racial equality and listened to speeches by such Black leaders as John Lewis, James Framer, and Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children.
Who is Welcome by Kristen Harper. Everybody wants a seat at the table. Blacks, Latinos, Asians, the poor, the disabled, gays and lesbians. Where are all the straight, white, moderate men supposed to sit? I'm not prejudiced. I'm just asking. And what table are they talking about? My table only seats 8 comfortably, and I have service for 10. That's it. You'll just have to wait your turn. Can you imagine if we just let anyone sit at our table? Why, we might have people who can't tell their salad fork from their dinner fork, or people who eat with their hands. I shudder to think. Welcome at my table, as long as you sit still and don't wiggle or interrupt the grown-up conversations. Children should be seen and not heard, but they should be dressed up in bows and satins so they can entertain us. Don't worry, if they aren't talented, it only reflects on your upbringing, not mine. Truth is, I don't really have the room for you. Maybe next time.
No fancy style at the welcome table. No fancy style at the welcome table. One of these days, hallelujah. No fancy style at the welcome table. Gonna sit at. Never mind.
Preach it, Dr. King.
For the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summit of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until that is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual. We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our body is heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
From the prophet Amos. Thus saith the Lord, I despise your religious feasts. I cannot stand your assemblies. Even though you bring me burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. Though you bring choice fellowship offerings, I will have no regard for them. Away with the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the music of your harps. But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like a never-failing stream.
I'm not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities. Knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
An American Flag Upon My Tasbih by Mitra Jafarzadeh. And tasbih are prayer beads. It is a custom, superstition, decoration, to hang prayer beads from the rearview mirror. Not broken bodies of long ago prophets, not agony in the name of God, not sculpted, miniaturized terror. Just beads. Mine are brown like coffee beans, smooth for running through fingers, hung for decor, for they tell those who would decode something Middle Eastern. Not for faith, for culture. So it is no sacrilege that the smooth brown beads break their rhythm for a cold metal rectangle of red, white, and blue. An announcement. An American drives this car. When I called, I said, "Don't wear black today. It makes you look too ethnic. Put away your turtlenecks. Choose your pink izod." He said, "I told your sister the same. And stay away from airports. Drive if you have to be somewhere. You," he said, "are white enough. You don't have to worry." Then he said, "But you do have your American flag on your tasbih."
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day out in the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream
that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by their character. I have a dream today.
I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racist, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day, right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be engulfed, every hill shall be exalted, and every mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
One Love by Hope Johnson. We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits, here, not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one, working, eating, laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing, and rejoicing, getting to know each other, taking risks, opening up, questioning, seeking, searching, trying to understand, struggling, making mistakes, paying attention, asking questions, listening, living our answers, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community together. We are one.
This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the Cretaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last."
Can you help me thank our wonderful... They've been waiting the whole time to be able to come down and sit with y'all. In a moment, we're going to rise in body or spirit, and we're going to sing number 348 in the gray hymnal, "Guide My Feet." And I want you to note that if you are following in the hymnal, that we have changed the lyrics from "stand by me" to "join with me" to make it more inclusive. So I invite you to go ahead and rise and let's sing together. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. You may be seated. It's slightly different words for the chalice extinguishing. Alex, would you like to? Oh, Linda? Will you extinguish the chalice?
There you go. Go around to the back
Can you come around this side? There we go. Unrehearsed. So these words come from Bill Singford, who is past president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. Spirit of life and love, dear God of all nations, there is so much work to do. We have only begun to imagine justice and mercy. Help us hold fast to our vision of what can be. May we see the hope in our history and find the courage and the voice to work for that constant rebirth of freedom and justice. That is our dream. Amen.
As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. Let me tell you about some of the opportunities to connect and serve in the days to come. Church of the Wild continues to meet in the Ecology Center at 9:30 a.m., Sundays through September. Participants are encouraged to bring a poem or a meditation to share. All are welcome. Next week's service will feature a guest speaker, Mike Radomski from Outside Chronicles. Find out how the outdoors can change your life. Our second annual Living Green Festival is fast approaching. Save the weekend of September 23rd to participate and be sure to invite your friends. Information can be found on our website with a snippet on the back of your order of service. Lori Kaznicki will come and share with us some detailed ways of getting involved. Is that right now? Right now.
So the Green Festival is less than a month away, and we are now ready to start signing up volunteers. All hands on deck, all aboard the train. We need your help. There will be a sign-up sheet available in the Emerson room during coffee hour following service, and it'll be out for the next few weeks. It will also eventually be put onto the website or a link from Linda so that you can sign up online. Right now, we're just asking who's available, how many 2-hour shifts you might be willing to do, and what types of duties you could do. We've broken them down into sitting only, standing, being a runner to go and help around the place, as well as manning the clothing room where money will need to be exchanged, and so you need to be able to handle money. So please sign up and let us know where you can help. In addition, we need greeters. We have only partially filled up September, and we have October and beyond to fill up, so please also look for the greeter sign-up sheet. And eventually, we will be adding in coffee helpers and helping hands, and more to come on that.
Yeah, all in the same spreadsheet.
Oh, okay, so it's on the greeter spreadsheet?
Well, it's reading the volunteer spreadsheet, 2023 volunteer spreadsheet. It's a bi-monthly link, and it will have columns for all the different volunteer things. So it's a one-stop shopping for a volunteer.
Where does the general congregation find it?
Details later.
Details later.
Okay.
All are invited to an end of summer bonfire tonight at 7 p.m. in the Ecology Center. Take the middle path just beyond the basketball court at the back of the parking lot. A limited number of chairs are available, so you may wish to bring a camp chair. Enjoy an evening with friends. Finally, see the church newsletter, The Forward, for information regarding upcoming services and events. Hard copies can be found in the lobby. The digital version is on our website, uuamherst.org. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't invite you to participate in supporting the mission and ministry of UU Amherst with your financial gifts. You'll find a green basket at the back of the chapel to receive your contributions, or you can give online by going to our website, uuamherst.org, and clicking on the giving link, or text your gift to the number on the screen. Your gifts and participation are important because we pick fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. Your generous giving supports the work of this congregation.
Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing blessing together. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. May the road rise up to greet you as you leave your past behind. I will think about you gently, and I'll hold you in my arms. Look at one another. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. We do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel this way with us, so be swift to love and make haste to be kind. Go in peace.